Hello everyone. Today's video is about something a lot of men feel but rarely talk about openly. Something that creeps up on you at night, sits quietly with you on long walks, and grows louder the older you get. Male loneliness, not the cliche version you see online, but the real, psychological, deeply rooted loneliness that shapes how men behave, think, and carry themselves in the world. So today we are breaking down why male loneliness is so common, why men hide it, and why so many men fear being alone but crave solitude at the same time. Let's get into it. What male loneliness actually is. Most people think loneliness means having no friends, but for men it's different. A man can have friends, a job, a gym routine, family around him, and still feel a quiet, crushing emptiness that he can't explain. Male loneliness isn't the absence of people, it's the absence of connection. Most men grow up learning one thing very early: don't talk about what hurts, just deal with it. So men stop talking. They rattle around inside their own heads with problems they never share. Financial pressure, keep it to yourself. Relationship stress, don't burden anyone. Fear about the future, don't sound weak. Trauma, forget it and move on. Men learn to build a shell that looks confident from the outside but feels hollow on the inside. That's male loneliness. Here's the paradox: men don't want to be alone, but they don't know how to let people in. There are three big psychological reasons. Men feel replaceable. A lot of men secretly believe if I stopped showing up, nobody would notice. They see other people forming strong bonds, deep friendships, lifelong connections, while they feel like background characters in their own story. So they tell themselves, why bother opening up? It won't matter. Men don't want sympathy, they want respect. Most men have had this moment. They finally opened up about something serious, and the other person treats them differently. Less respect, more pity, or worse, indifference. After that, after that, men close the door permanently. Men carry their pain silently. A man will walk through hell silently before admitting he is struggling. He tries to solve everything himself. He thinks asking for help makes him a burden. So instead of reaching out, he folds in. That self imposed isolation becomes a habit, then a lifestyle, then an identity. Why men love solitude but fear loneliness? This is where it gets interesting. Men love solitude, but they fear loneliness. These two things can look similar on the outside, but feel completely different on the inside. Let's break it down. Solitude is peaceful, chosen, controlled. A long walk alone, a bus ride with music, sitting on the terrace late at night, solo workouts, long train journeys. Men find a strange comfort in these moments. Solitude gives a man space to think, to breathe, to detach from expectations, to exist without performing. In solitude, a man feels powerful. Loneliness is unwanted, heavy, out of control. This is when the silence hits differently. Nights where the room feels too quiet, birthdays where nobody calls, problems nobody asks about, celebration nobody witnesses. This type of loneliness doesn't feel chosen, it feels like a punishment. The contradiction: men want to be left alone until the emptiness becomes too loud. They want solitude, but they also want someone who understands them without explanation. This internal conflict is something nearly every man struggles with, even the strong ones, especially the strong ones. Why modern men are more lonely than ever. We live in a world where men are always connected, but rarely known. There are a few modern reasons. No tribe. Humans evolved in tribes. Men had brothers, warriors, a unit. Today, men are isolated, cities, separate lives, individual stress. A man without a tribe becomes a man without an anchor. Social media killed genuine male friendships. Everything is surface level. Nobody checks up on anyone. Everything is, bro, all good? And the answer is always, yeah, man, chill. But inside, they're sinking. Men tie their worth to usefulness. A lot of men believe if I'm not providing something, why would anyone want me around? So, the moment they feel financially unstable, emotionally drained, or lost in life, they isolate themselves. Modern relationships are fragile. Breakups hit men harder than women psychologically. Not because men love more, but because women have emotional support systems. Men often have only the relationship. When that goes, everything collapses. The silent battles that men fight. Every man has three battles happening inside him. The battle against expectations. Be tough, be stoic, be the provider, be the protector. Don't break, don't cry, don't worry, don't show weakness. Men are raised to be shields, but shields crack. The battle against their own thoughts. Men don't just overthink, they overcarry. They remember every failure, every insult, every regret, every loss. They replay the past constantly because they never talk about it. The battle against insignificance. Every man wants to feel like he matters, like someone is proud of him, like his presence makes a difference. Not the world, but for one person. When men can't find that feeling, loneliness takes over. Why men hide their loneliness? The truth is simple. Men hide their loneliness because they're terrified of being judged for it. A man talks about his goals, dreams, gym routine, hobbies, but the moment he says, I feel empty, the atmosphere changes. He knows it. So he stays quiet. He becomes the funny guy, the reliable guy, the silent guy, the I'm good bro guy. Anything that hides the truth. Men don't fear being alone, they fear being misunderstood. The loneliness that makes men strong. Here's the paradox: loneliness breaks a lot of men, but it also builds a different kind of strength. Men who spend long periods alone develop independence, discipline, self reliance, emotional control, quiet confidence, inner resilience, the ability to walk through darkness alone. A man who has survived loneliness learns to move through life differently. He doesn't cling to people, he doesn't chase validation, he becomes calmer, sharper, harder to shake. This is why so many men admire quiet, stoic men. They sense the battle he's fought alone. Conclusion. The truth about male loneliness. Male loneliness is not a weakness, it's not a flaw, it's not something to be ashamed of. It's a result of how men are raised, how society treats them, and how the modern world disconnects them. But here's the real truth: a lonely man is not a broken man, he's an unfinished one. Loneliness is the forge where many men build themselves into calmer, stronger, wiser. Someone who they can be proud of. And if you are a man watching this and you feel that heaviness, you're not alone, you're not strange, you're not failing. You're human, you're learning, you're evolving. And trust me, you won't feel this way forever.